Welcome to another edition of the MDM Podcast. I'm Mike Hockett, MDM's executive editor. Singer Industrial has frequented MDM's news headlines over the past several years as the distributor of industrial rubber and fluid power products sold off its Bishop Lifting Products unit during 2022 before completing 10 deals during 2023. The company also rebranded from SBP Holdings to Singer Industrial in early 2023. So, given all that activity, I recently invited Singer President and CEO Craig Osborne onto the podcast to discuss his company's transformation and how it's managed all those moving pieces. Osborne, who is on MDM's editorial advisory board, also shared a wealth of acquisition advice during our virtual M&A summit held during early 2023. I had him touch on the value of Singer colleague Sam Patillo, who leads the company's industrial rubber division and received the prestigious Carver Award in 2023 from the National Association of Hose and Accessories Distributors, better known as NAHAD. We also explored Osborne's thoughts on AI in distribution, the current labor situation, supply chain lead times in the market Singer serves, and the company's top priorities in the near future. Enjoy. Craig, thanks for joining the MDM podcast.
Hey, Mike, thanks so much. Good to be here.
I'd like to start with a quick introduction. Can you walk us through your career path and how you got to where you are today as CEO of Singer Industrial?
Yeah, for sure. It's been over 10 years now since I've been with Singer. Started out in as a CFO role in one of the divisions, and then transitioned into the CFO of the whole company, and then spent about 5 years there. And for 2 years I was chief operating officer, and then the last 3 years I've been CEO. Prior to that, I worked in the healthcare distribution space at McKesson and Thermo Fisher Scientific.
All right. Well, besides leading your company, what would you say you're passionate about, outside of work life?
Yeah, look, I love working with the team at Singer Industrial for sure. Great people, enjoy working with them. But I'm very involved in my local church. I like to travel with my wife to visit our children and grandchildren. Always so fun to see them. And I'm also into fitness. I like to set a stretch goal every year. Last year it was an Ironman. This year my goal is to hike rim to rim of the Grand Canyon in one day. So that's. Stay tuned on how that goes.
I got to up my fitness game because that is impressive. All right. Well, I'm sure a good portion of our audience is familiar with Singer Industrial, especially given that you guys have been in our headlines pretty frequently lately. But there may also be a large contingent that isn't so familiar with you guys. So can you give me a snapshot of what Singer Industrial looks like today, which is pretty different than it did a couple of years ago?
Yeah, no, that's right. So, the way I think about it is we provide solutions to industrial customers. We're solving their problems with fluid power, hose, both hydraulic, metal, and industrial hose, gaskets, conveyor belts. Those are the kind of the type of things that we service them with. We have about 100 locations throughout the U.S. and Canada, 1,400 plus employees, and about $600 million in revenue.
All right. Well, these past 2 years were quite transformational for Singer Industrial. The company sold off one of its business units. It completed 10 acquisitions during 2023 and rebranded from SBP Holdings to Singer Industrial. So a lot of moving pieces recently. Were there one or two keys to really managing all that change and expansion successfully?
Yeah, for sure. You got to have a good team, which we do, to be able to manage so many moving pieces. As you mentioned, a lot going on for sure. What we've tried to do as a team is keep our focus on the customer and what solutions and products do they need, how we can support them, where geographically we can serve them better. That drives some of our greenfield and acquisition thoughts. And then, so as we do that, keeping the customer front and center, that helps kind of keep our eye on the ball of how to manage the growth and the strategy.
Definitely. And I want to give you a chance to say some nice things about one of your colleagues there at Singer Industrial, Sam Patillo, who is the company's industrial rubber division leader. He received NAHAD's Carver Award for outstanding commitment to industry excellence at NAHAD's past industry convention this past spring. So, what's it been like to have Sam there to help lead the way there at Singer, especially amid all the recent expansion in the company's industrial rubber division?
Yeah, for sure. Sam Patillo is a great talent, and NAHAD is our hose association for that segment of our business. He is a phenomenal leader, communicates well, knows everybody in the industry because of his stint as a NAHAD president, but also receiving the Lifetime Service Award, the Carver Award. I remind him that he's only halfway through his career, so we get to keep participating in his knowledge base. But it's awesome having him on the team.
Then back to this expansion front, what qualities do you prioritize when you are looking for acquisition targets?
Yeah, I think, culture is super key, and we want to make sure that we join forces with team members and other companies that are similarly minded. So being customer focused is clearly one of those. Being growth oriented is another. And, what we often, as we talk to these business owners, we get them excited about getting back to serving the customer, not getting bogged down in the back office distractions like taxes and accounting and payroll and benefits and IT systems. All those tasks are, definitely needed. But for small business owners, they didn't get into the business to do all those things. They just become a necessary part of it. So, we've been working with some sellers as they kind of think through what they want to do long term and give them a chance to get back to the roots of what excites them, and that's solving.
All right, and then switching gears, AI was kind of the topic of discussion in distribution in 2023, and our research at MDM tells us that while there was tons of interest in AI among distributors last year, there wasn't a ton of application yet. So I have to think 2024 is going to be much more hands-on with AI in the distribution sector. So I was curious if Singer Industrial is using AI and if there's anything you can share on that front on your general thoughts about AI's potential in distribution.
Yeah, for sure. AI is going to have a much bigger impact than even we know it will in the future. I'd say we dabble in AI today. Dipping our toe in would probably be the best way to say it. And part of what we're using it for is some content creation. We use it to help streamline order entry on repeat orders. But I believe it's going to help us as we get better data. So currently that's a big focus on us, is getting consistent, consolidated data. And then we can use AI to leverage that to work with customers on how we can serve them better with different products and services that they're not buying from us today.
And that aligns with, I think, what we've been hearing from most distributors is that, there's very few of them that are very involved with AI. It seems like most of them, like you said, are just dipping their toes into it and kind of learning as they go along here before they really get more involved. So yeah, we'll definitely keep watching that throughout 2024 here.
For sure. It's gonna be evolving a lot. So we will have to all keep our eyes on that.
Yeah. I'm also curious to get your thoughts about the labor situation in distribution, which, other than AI, seem to be also the topic of discussion these past several years, as many companies in this sector still say it's their biggest challenge that they have right now and in the immediate future. So can you touch on what you're seeing in terms of the labor market for industrial distributors, as well as maybe what Singer has done to enhance its hiring and retention efforts?
Yeah, for sure. It's gotten a bit better, I would say, labor-wise than what it was, 9 months ago. We still struggle finding those with skilled technicians to help service our customers. And I also believe, basically due to the changing demographic data and the smaller workforce, the number of openings that exist within the country, that this is going to be something that we struggle with as hirers of good talent. Both finding and recruiting and retaining good talent is going to be a problem that we continue to deal with going forward. Some of the things we've tried referral bonuses. So, referring a friend, give people referral bonuses for people they like and want to work with. Better internal communication on job openings so people kind of know what the opportunities are. We've both tried internal recruiting efforts and external recruiters to help us. We've tried to be better on social media by promoting some of the things we're doing, like our day of service, where basically we're giving people paid time off during the year to go help and serve in their communities. We're also kind of working to stop the rat wheel of turnover, as I say, right? I mean, if we can slow that down, then don't have to go find as many new people. And so keeping our current employees happier is a critical piece. We're working, as I mentioned, on a day of service. We have some dart tournaments to bring the team together, barbecues, birthday parties, events that they go to kind of build that team and camaraderie. Also been working on some training and education efforts internally, right? Giving people opportunities to grow their skills and develop their ability to learn, and then that gives them options for growth in their own careers.
Then I was curious to ask, I didn't have this as our planned question here, but in terms of the office staff for Singer, are you guys, is it a hybrid model? Is it pretty much everyone back in the office, or can you touch on what that looks like?
Yeah, I would say there's a segment of our office staff that works remotely, just due to the way we've hired, but that's a pretty small minority. Most of our office staff, back office staff, works in an office at some of our branches and locations throughout the country.
And then what do you consider to be Singer Industrial's biggest priority for 2024? I'm sure that there's more expansion on the horizon, but is there anything internal company projects or anything that you can share that you guys are just looking to find success with this year?
Yeah, so we're going through an ERP conversion where we're moving our business units onto one ERP system that's going to help with the data piece that I mentioned. But culture is key. We talked about the rapid acquisitions that we've done and the hiring that we're doing. And so to maintain our culture, that's a super critical piece of what we're doing. So making sure that there's good communication around our values, our mission, our goals, but also, just regular monthly communications with the teams, town hall meetings, face-to-face, to help people kind of get a sense of what Singer Industrial believes and thinks about culture-wise. The others I mentioned is really keeping the customer top of mind and what their needs are. So we can't lose sight, for all the growth we're having, we can't lose sight of the customer and their needs.
And then just touching quickly on the technology front, again, another unplanned question here, but I have to assume the ERP conversion is the biggest project, but is there any other projects or ongoing ones that you can touch on that Singer has recently been involved with on the technology side?
We're going to expand our digital marketing efforts. Clearly, the younger generation tends to use and does use technology more. So what I want to make sure is that we're ready when those future buyers want to engage with us and meeting customer needs wherever they may be. Right now, we do an awesome job getting out and talking to customers directly through our sales force and working, with our counter business and our mobile trucks now, but also meeting people where they want to be and are going to be on the digital front. So that's an investment we're making.
All right. And then taking a crystal ball view further out, where does Singer Industrial want to be, or what does it want to look like, let's say 2 to 3 years from now? Are there any key goals in mind in those years ahead?
I would say, I would expect that we'd have 60 to 75 more locations. Some of that's going to be through acquisition. Some is going to be through greenfield expansion. We opened 8 new greenfield locations in 2023. So there'll be more of those over the coming few years. And those will help support our customers where they want to be served. Many times, and then the other piece I would say where I'd like to focus on is many times our customers buy, 2 or 3 of the product lines that we sell, but we'd like to figure out a way to serve them with all, 8 of the different product lines that we have, meet all of their needs so they're not buying from other vendors. We want to be the trusted partner and supplier for them. And that'll be a process of, educating our branches on the products and services that we have available and helping the sales reps understand who to call when their customers have needs.
All right. Taking a look at some of the economic market factors out there impacting the industries that Singer Industrial serves. As far as the industrial rubber, hosing, and fluid power product categories that the company specializes in, what does the supply chain or lead time situation look like? I assume it's much better than it was 2 years ago, but curious to get what the supply chain looks like at the start of 2024 here.
Yeah, it was really problematic 12, 16 months ago. There's some lingering challenges. We still have, 40-week lead times on a handful of fluid power repair parts. But the pains of, the past 12 or 18 months are largely behind us. It's still a nuisance, I would say, but we've really gotten better as an organization about working around manufacturer scheduling to be able to serve our customers.
All right. And then at the 2023 NAHAD convention that I mentioned this past spring, most distributors and manufacturers that I talked to there sounded pretty optimistic about business conditions for the rest of 2023. But now as we begin 2024, what are you seeing and hearing in terms of current business conditions and the level of demand out there?
Yeah, so until recently, we had very good orders and demand from customers. Just recently, the last month or two, we've seen some softening in demand in some segments. We do have a very large backlog that we built, over the last 18 months. But I expect kind of the next 6 months to be choppy with maybe flattish revenue growth is how we're thinking about it. I do expect that we'll see a return to growth in Q3 and Q4 of this year, particularly as the Fed starts to loosen and as more demand shows up from nearshoring of manufacturers.
All right. Well, that is all the planned questions I had here. But before we close out, are there any final thoughts or anything else about Singer Industrial that you think our audience should know?
Well, hey, Mike, appreciate it for sure. I would say that, we have a great team and we're always looking to partner with great companies and help them grow faster and hire team members that are passionate about winning. So come join us. That's what I would say in closing.
All right. Well, Craig Osborne, thanks once again for joining the MDM podcast.
Hey, Mike, thanks so much.